I know, I know Frank, you know about it, so I wanted to ask you about it, and if anybody
Yes.
else has a square, well, I'm trying to put together my Squarespace website,
Okay.
Oh, here
and
he goes. He's got one pot. Hang on a second.
You guys see this?
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
oh,
I'm putting
wow.
it in a garbage can with sawdust, like, which is out of the way.
Barry, you look like Einstein.
Yeah,
So-
he needs to get one of those things that tracks you with your
Till
phone.
tomorrow.
It follows you
Yeah.
around.
Oh, yeah.
They
That's
actually
called a new
work.
phone. All right.
Barry, you're supposed to pull it out with your bare hands.
So while Einstein is fumbling over there, what
Can you
about
see this?
Squarespace?
Can you see this?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Hold on. I got to put the lid on.
It looks like a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Puts a hot pot in a bunch of combustible sawdust.
Yeah. All right.
He telling him he needs to pull it out with his hand and put it in the dust with his
Yeah.
bare hands. He
Yeah.
doesn't need any clamps.
That's true. Shit.
It cannot be that hot. Besides, you don't need your hands.
Not anymore.
How hot is that pot, Barry?
Well, because I fire them in the electric kiln first up to 1825 degrees, 1830. I only have to go up to 1650. So when I pulled them out, it was at 1650, and of course it starts to cool down. And as long as it's above, let's say 700 degrees, I get that's where the color ends. So with my, this is iPhone. This is getting weird. I can't see anything except it says Zoom video, and it says Zoom meeting, but I can't see anything. I can hear you all when I press Zoom.
Well,
It
like
gives me.
Buffy says, it looks like a pumpkin, a
Oh, we're there.
jack-o'-lantern.
We're there.
there
We're
you
there.
are.
Oh, I'm back. Well, anyway,
All
that's
right.
what they kind of look like.
So ask your question about Squarespace.
Oh, okay, well, I started putting one together. I used to have one, and I don't have it anymore. So I transferred my domain over to Squarespace. Then I watched some YouTube videos thinking, I can do this. I'm college educated, but I think that's the problem.
You probably didn't have to transfer your name there. You just had to point it, and they give you instructions on how to do that.
Yeah, but I would have had to keep paying GoDaddy.
Well, or Squarespace.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the
I had
same
to
thing.
Squarespace gives
transfer
you-
it.
When you
I had to
transfer to Squarespace, they give you the first year of domain registration for free. But it's,
Right.
That's not enough money to matter very much compared to the cost of the website, or the cost of taking the pictures for the website, or all the other expenses. The domain name is
Yeah, it's
expensive,
nothing.
$20 a year.
Yeah, and
Very expensive domain name is 50 or 100. But
so I've been working on it, and I watched a couple of YouTube videos, and they were helpful. I watched one guy who was an artist. I think he was from Belgium, and I think his website is CAI or something like that.
what is the question?
The question is, I'm loading pictures up. I've gotten that far. But I need to know the ones that Larry did, they work out really good. But the ones that I have taken that I want to load, I need to know what the dimensions have to be for the pictures.
Well, make them the same dimensions as the one I did.
And you do that outside of Squarespace. You need to do that in another program.
Right.
Okay, okay.
If you're, are you using a Mac or a PC?
I have a Mac.
Okay, well, I don't know the right programs on a Mac. I don't use one, but they're built-in programs in the Mac where you can resize a crop up photo and resize it to.
Okay, that's number one. Number two is I have pictures that are nice of my tables, but I need to get better backgrounds on them. And I know, Larry, that's what you do. But there was a app called Canva. Has anybody heard of it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a light version of Photoshop.
Yeah, I know. And so I thought that would be an easy way to do a gradient background inexpensively. And there's a learning curve with that too. So I'm kind of like, now I'm losing my mind because
Well,
I just want it to be simple and
it's learning curve. So if you just plug at it for 6 months, you will master it.
right,
But-
that's the thing.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's either
well,
you
no,
pay.
you see, if it takes 6 months, it's worth hiring somebody.
That's,
Oh,
yeah, I
I-
know. And I know, Frank, you do that. So I was gonna ask you like what you charge. Do you charge by the hour of how you help someone or?
I have been, we could come to a by the hour arrangement if you wanted. I generally say, let's start from scratch and I will hold your hand through the creation process and we will co-design the website. And by the time we're done, you'll know how to do it. And I charge a fixed fee for that so that I don't have to worry about whether it takes 3 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks. I just, the value to you is a finished website and the skill it takes to manage it. So that's what I've been pricing on.
Okay.
If
And
you-
is that something you want
don't
to tell
need-
me offline or do you have,
Yeah.
can you tell me
I'll
what
put my
that costs?
in the chat and you'll get in touch with me.
Say that again because I didn't get that.
Okay, I
I
put my
want
email
to
address-
publicly say how much.
Okay.
And I
So can you
understand
email
that.
me?
I put my email address in the chat. You email me, okay?
Chat. Okay, where is that?
It
the
should
bottom.
pop up on your screen.
In the chat. All I see is the pictures of everyone.
Go down
So,
at the bottom of your screen. There's a thing to click on that says chat.
oh,
Which
bottom of my screen just says, okay. I'm on an iPad.
Oh, I don't
You
know.
may have
then.
to touch down there.
Frank,
Okay.
just tell her what your email address is.
FPIUCK at CYBERHENGE.com.
Do the after the at part again. CY
Cyber.
okay.
Cyber, like in cyberspace, and henge and
Yes.
stuff. CYBERHENGE, and it's my first initial last name before that.
And .com.
.com.
Okay. Okay. That's it.
Is that it?
Well, yeah,
Let me-
Larry, I know that I could have you do some pictures for me. I don't know if I can afford to do that right now, so I'm just trying
If
to,
you, do you just need them resized?
I just need backgrounds, gradient
Oh,
backgrounds.
well, that's, yeah, see, that costs more money, but if you just needed them resized, I would just do them for you for nothing.
Just one quick question then, let me ask you, this is so dumb, but like this picture right here, can you see that?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay, I took that, you can't use that, of course. So I need to.
the
just
table
get
needs
it-
to be cut out,
Okay,
right?
I just need to have, let's see. I just need to have a gradient background put on it,
Right, the table needs to be cut out,
cut out. Okay, that's how you do it?
and then you add the background. But
Okay,
it,
so I,
it
yeah,
needs to be on a layer
okay,
so that the background can be tweaked without, you know,
okay.
screwing up. Here, this is one of my pictures I just shot earlier today.
Isn't that beautiful? Gosh,
My head's in the way. There.
that's pretty. So does it take a long time to do that, to cut the table out and put a background on?
To learn how to do it, yes.
I, no, for you, does it take a long time to do that? Is it like a half hour thing?
I don't know.
Okay,
They're all going to be different depending upon what the background
Do you want the
currently
background?
is.
Yeah, do you want the background to match what you already have, or you don't, it doesn't matter?
I just want it like darker gray at the, or black at the top, and then just a
Okay.
gradient out all the way down.
Graduated.
But- yeah.
Use what's called a clipping service.
A clipping service.
Yes.
Is there an app that you're mentioning?
No.
Or
Now,
clipping service? Okay,
do a
Yeah.
search for it.
okay, I can try that.
They're Photoshop experts from all over the world, and they'll cut it out for you.
Okay,
And
I-
they'll give it back to you with a clipping path and a white background.
I am positive that I can do this on my iPad with Procreate.
Then do
Um,
it.
But yeah. When I tried Canva yesterday, it was like I could take the table and there was a way to use a background, and I just put the background on immediately, and there was.
Well, because it's selecting the object and adding the background around it.
Yeah. But I wasn't able to get, it was too hard to work with getting the
The gradient in the right place.
no, the gradient was okay. It was, the table's too small in the picture, and I wasn't able to get it to size right.
Oh, well, wait, I mean, you need to start with the
The right
table.
size picture.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, okay.
you need to create the picture that you want to finish with by cropping the table.
Okay.
And then you add the background to it.
Does
So-
anybody have do you use a Mac, Larry?
No,
Okay.
I do.
Okay, the
So
only
do
question I
this.
have is, I just want to know one thing. How
Okay.
can I figure out what size the picture is right now? What do I do with,
on
I'm
your
looking in my,
iPad, in your photos
No,
on your iPad,
no,
just
I'm on-
swipe up.
I'm on my laptop and I'm in iPhotos and I'm looking at my picture. I just want to know how big that picture is.
Go to, what do you call it? Get info.
Okay,
I would
no,
be,
no, that
Oh.
shows where you took the picture.
No, but it also shows you what the pixel dimensions are.
Oh, the pixel, it doesn't say dimensions, but it says 5.34 gigabytes.
No, you need the height and width.
yeah, you want,
Everything with images is height and width.
right.
Okay, that's a,
And you could find that in Get Info.
yeah,
The program part.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's gotta be a tool for resizing the photo. And if you find that tool, it will give you the choice of resizing it in inches or pixels, and if you choose pixels, it will tell you.
But
Yeah.
before you resize it, you need to crop it.
I've cropped them all already. They're all cropped.
Oh, and there's Barry's pots.
They're
Well,
beautiful.
those
Oh,
aren't those aren't the same ones. Those are the smaller ones.
Oh, we thought you already finished them, and there they are.
Well, no, well, yeah, but they're too hot to take out. But these are
Right.
the ones I did before then. Listen, I'm not good enough to get into even the shittiest shows. So, so you can draw your own conclusions.
No, you're too good for those shows.
What? Hey, I'm too good for Cherry Creek, and that's this
Yeah.
weekend. Yeah, great.
So Barb, you're trying to do two things at once, both of which are, taxing until you know how.
Okay, I found it. Wait. Okay, the picture is, do you want to know, 4032 by 3024?
Yeah, it's an iPhone picture,
Yeah,
but
they
it
all
hasn't
are.
been cropped yet.
I might have cropped it. Maybe,
No,
okay, I didn't.
that's the dimensions of an iPhone picture.
Okay, what does it have to be? I guess that's all I need to know.
Well, I don't know. It's whatever you need it for.
I mean, for Squarespace, to be able to just take it and put it into Squarespace so
Well,
it
but
fits.
okay, the images that I did for you that are on Squarespace, what size were they?
I
Were
don't
they
know.
the 1920 with black borders?
You did some with Blackboard.
Handle very large images. It depends on what you want to do with them, that the size matters. And if you are using the Squarespace store, then you need to know how big the pictures are, because you need to keep consistent within the store. If you're using them as decorative pictures on pages, the size is much less important. If it's too big, they won't upload it. If they can upload it, they can.
Hold on a minute if I'm wrong, but I think that for the website, the widest that you can do it is 920. They prefer 800, but that could be all information for the pixels, I think. And I always do it with the pixels.
Those are pixels. 800 to 920 is pixels.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the width. What about the height of it?
No, that's the width. You have to set up the width and then let the height be whatever it's going to be.
Okay.
But it should not be more than 920. And I've been told they prefer 800. But
Okay.
I have
I could be
uploaded
wrong.
much larger than that, Oscar, with no difficulty, and used them effectively. So it really depends on what you want to use them for. And, so like a background image should actually be much bigger than that, because it should fill up the entire screen. And, and on an iMac, you might have 2,500 pixels. So websites can handle much bigger pictures than they could 10 years ago, much less 20.
Yeah, I'll tell you in a second. Let me open one in Photoshop. I use Shopify, and Shopify is automatic and resize it for you, so I don't have to worry about it. But they told me not to make it bigger than this size.
On Squarespace, they said that?
No, in Shopify. There's another.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then we won't have to worry about what that is, right?
No,
just kind of
but it should be. I'll tell you in a second. Just let me find it.
Frank, what I'd set up so far was it was a very simple name at the top, like 3 things, and then like big pictures. Just that's all I want to do. I want to keep it just really simple. I want big picture, explanation of the size and the cost, next big picture, next big picture, and then it should be simple. And the ones that Larry did, they were simple. I just put them right in and they were perfect. And then the ones that I tried to put in, you know how you have those columns or those squares that go across when you put the pictures in? I forgot what they're called.
Basically boxes.
Yeah, and when I tried to, he had it set up for 17.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound familiar? It's like 17 boxes. And then when I put my pictures in, they were too big, so I had to try to keep shrinking the boxes and expanding it and shrinking it, and then it looked okay on the my Mac, but then it looked kind of crazy on the phone.
Yes.
And the one thing I notice is they don't talk at all about iPads, the way iPads look, and a lot of people use iPads.
Um, the big problem, it's a much bigger problem to make something look good on a computer screen and a phone. If it looks decent on the phone, it'll look decent on the iPad. It will look, it's much easier to describe it when we're looking at a Squarespace screen together than to talk about it abstractly. But it doesn't sound like, it just sounds like you need a little bit of training and a couple hours and you'll be fine.
Okay.
There's a lot of detail, but none of the details are that complicated by themselves. It's just you stack them up and it seems overwhelming. But if you nibble at it,
I know this is weird, but I'm just gonna show you something. This is what I did so far with, that's what it would look like on a phone. So these are Larry's, that's why they look so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I,
But the main thing, you want to keep everything, all the images same size.
Yes, you're going to want to have consistent images for sure.
and they look okay, so they look not too bad here, but when I go over to what it looks like on the Mac, then it starts out good. And then, is that too big of a picture? That's huge to me, isn't it?
What are the pixel dimensions?
Well, I mean, just looking at it, just
The width
looking.
are comparable. The heights are not identical. So,
Yeah.
and I don't think that looks terrible with in the real world. Personally, I like seeing furniture in context as opposed to with a
They
great.
could have been 1400 long dimension.
Okay, here, couple
I'm gonna
things
look.
for you.
Yeah.
One, in photos, if you look at the top bar, there's a circle with an I in it.
Okay. Yeah, that's where you
The
get
letter I. If you
information on
click that, that will give you your information.
Yes. That's
Typically,
Mm.
photos for jury purposes are not great advertising photos and not necessarily great photos for your website. Because
why is that?
well, for your website, you want photos that have emotion, that have feeling, that sell your whatever
Oh.
you're selling. And the stuff looks very nice in your jury image with the gray background, but it lacks emotion. You want, like Frank said, see it in a setting, see it in a room setting. See some people with it.
Why can't we just make up our minds in the art world? Why don't they just take pictures like that for the jury pictures?
Because they want to see just the item. Nothing else. They want to see just the item.
The jurors need to understand, make judgments about technical, which is not what buyers are going to make judgments on.
Okay.
I mean, the stuff that you just showed looks fine as far as what I can see. It's not going to kill you not to have that kind of image, but I would definitely do for the very first image on your page. When somebody goes to your website, that very first image should not be a jury image. The rest of them can be, but that very first image should be something very warm, very inviting.
I gotcha.
That pulls people in.
Okay.
Now,
a website is a commercial art form, but it is an art form, and just like with any other art form, there's subliminal emotional things going on.
that's just like if you're designing something that's going to be a coffee table versus something that's going to be a dining table, you design them differently because they have different purposes.
Mm-hmm.
The same for the photos. The photos have different purposes, so they have to be designed differently. If you want the most out of them.
Yeah, okay, that's great advice.
And you know, if you want, I mean, ideally, you could find someone with a very nice house. You could find, if you're near builders, you know, that have model homes, you might talk to them about bringing a piece in and staging it in, you know, one of their model homes and doing photos there.
I'm trying to think of where I saw on the site on the internet that you could take something and put it in a living room that's already like dressed up. You know, like it's a
Yeah,
beautiful
you can
living
do
room.
that.
You put,
Any paint site, you know, paint.
yeah,
You can take your house or you picture your house, and and at the paint site, then you can pick a color, and it'll change the walls so that it'll look like your house, how that room would look on the walls. So you could actually set it up like that if you wanted to.
in my house.
I know some of the
Yeah.
bigger websites that sell furniture and stuff. God, I was looking at Home Depot or Lowe's, and one of them had something where you could click on it and say, "See this in your home."
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that I looked at, oh, I was thinking it was Houzz, you know, Houzz.
Okay, yeah.
I
No,
don't know
it's a
if you've
web.
heard of that.
You know, you
If
want a
you-
commercial site like Home Depot, or a paint site that wants to sell you paint.
If you do that, you're going to need a specific photo just for that, because Larry was talking about cutting out the backgrounds. You just have the image of the art. You're going to need all your photos to be like that, so that can be dropped into their photo.
Their room.
Okay. I'm gonna look around for the app I was thinking of, because I know positively you can take a picture. They have pictures already done that are like of a beautiful living room, and you take your object and you put it into the picture.
Yeah,
And
Oscar,
size it
don't you
properly.
use that?
Yes, our placer,
What is it?
our placer,
How do you spell that? Art?
R and then placer, PLACER.
Art Placer. Okay,
It's $30 a month.
okay. I can take a look
Let
at
me
that.
make sure. Yeah,
Yeah, try and go for a trial version so they don't have to pay for the $30 if you're going to use it once or twice.
Well,
Or just
the trial
take
version-
Oscar's
no, the tri-
pictures and put yours on top of his.
Yes,
That's right.
okay,
Yeah, or get his name and password
okay.
and post
So-
it on the internet post it on
Right.
Facebook so everybody can use it.
So when I look at Art Placer, or however I look at these, what the important number about the picture I have taken is like the 40-32 by 30-24.
You're probably going to want to shrink them to an
Well,
appropriate.
first you need to
About-
crop it. That's the full image from your phone.
The best thing to do is to crop it in your phone. When you're doing it with your phone, move in so you get just your table with a little bit, you know, maybe a little extra on the ends if it's a horizontal, and just shoot it tight the way you want it, and then you
Okay.
don't have to worry about cropping it later.
Sometimes when you crop a picture and then you put it on something later, it cuts off the edges and stuff.
No. No. You're not doing something correctly.
Or the thing you're putting it on isn't doing something correctly.
Like if
might
you
be
want to sell
dropping it
something on,
into- Wait, you might be dropping it into a background that's smaller.
no, it's like Facebook Marketplace and you're selling something. You take a picture of a table, then you put it on Facebook Marketplace and it's chopped up. It's like half
Well,
of it.
but Facebook probably limits the size for their marketplace.
So
Yeah, so
when you,
if you wanted to do that, you would have to know how big the picture that Facebook wants is, both wide and tall, and pre-shape the picture to match Facebook's requirements, and then it won't chop.
Yeah, all I do now, if I'm gonna sell something like that, is I don't crop, I don't go into the picture. I take a big picture of it, and then it shows the whole thing. But Frank, you were about to say what size I should shrink these down to as far as the dimensions?
It really depends on what use it's for. So if you're gonna put it in Facebook, you would have,
No, like Squarespace.
I
Any,
do not know the numbers off the top of my head. I would wanna Zoom with you and have
Okay.
Squarespace open and be looking at it together to figure it out. That's
what
this,
about megabytes? Is there something it's always got to be under that?
the number keeps getting bigger, but I would think, I'm sure hundreds of megabytes are fine, and probably gigabytes. You don't
You cut out there. What did you
10
say?
gigabyte pictures going up. But
I think the only thing you have to worry is the resolution. That's about it. More than anything else.
They're very clear pictures, but is 2.9 megabyte, is that big or small, or
No,
it's
that's
small.
small.
it's small? Okay,
Yeah,
What-
anything under 100 megabytes is going to be fine.
okay. Okay, that helps. At least I can get something to work with, and then maybe I can get, if I can get those things figured out, then maybe Frank, we could talk and do the rest of it.
Well, look, I would suggest that you and I spend an hour talking for free. And then you can make decisions after that.
You know, I have a suggestion for you, Barbie.
Okay,
If you take your pictures on a neutral background or even on the white background inside your tent and run the side down underneath it, you won't have to cut out the background. You'll just crop them and they'll be fine.
yeah. But, okay. But I still have to put it into a living room setting.
Not necessarily.
Well, because they're gonna be on a website, so you want it to be homey looking and stuff.
Well, it's what you want it to be.
No, you don't have to do that. You only need, honestly, if you want to do that, it's going to get complicated, but you can, the people want to see the furniture, and then if you have the option with taking the image that they can put in their own living room, so they can see how it looks in their place, that's more important than you try to set up in there. But you know, each person is different.
That sounds really complicated.
Look, the website you want in a year and the website you want in a month are not the same website.
What about the website I want tomorrow?
The website you want tomorrow is simpler than the website you want in a month, is simpler than the website you want in a year. You don't want to overwhelm yourself.
I don't, I want to make it simple. It was just the pictures that are
Decent,
getting-
simple website with decent pictures that are not fabulous is better than a website that you can't get up.
Yeah.
That's right.
And with practice, you'll get better. You'll get better at the photography. You'll get better at manipulating the photographs. You'll be better at manipulating the website. So don't worry about fabulous at the beginning. You worry about good enough. And good enough is that hard.
Excuse me for a nanosecond. See, this is the temperature. I'm going to pull these last two pots out. I decided with the success of the last two that I was going to do the last two. So there's the temperature. Okay, go on. Sorry to interrupt. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I meant
Oh,
to
no,
interrupt.
it's interesting.
In gallery view, I can't see it anyway.
Yeah, well,
Oh. There he goes. Oh,
I can see it. All right. All right. So here's here's what it looks like. The pots are in there. All right. Hold on one second.
And there's the garbage pails.
Yeah.
Well, you got enough smoke there.
Okay, you're not gonna get to see everything, but there's the two pots. Okay,
There's the smoke.
hold on. Oh, come on, stand up.
All right, what are we looking at?
There. See this? See this?
Ooh,
Mhm.
that looks
Put the lid on.
dangerous.
Yeah, I've done it 1,000 times. And there's smoke coming out the sides.
Oh,
Okay, go on.
Hey,
Oh,
Barry, I have a technical question for you.
sure, but hold on. Let me do this.
That's why
That's the shelf that it was on. This is the shell. All right, go ahead.
that's why his camera's fogged up because of the smoke.
Okay, Barry, does different wood change your colors?
You know, that's a great question. And I'm about to answer it. Let me just do this. Give me a second, and I'll answer. That's a really good question.
Horrible question.
Okay.
Does everybody
Uh,
understand how Raku works?
Yeah. The
You know-
chemical reaction. You're reducing.
You know, it's no different than any firing. They're all kind of the same, except this is quicker and it's on a lower temperature. Okay, to answer your question, the pots are cooling at a certain rate, and you can use anything combustible, but I like hardwood sawdust because it heats up pretty fast and it keeps the heat and it cools slower. So the environment cools slower, which allows me to manipulate the pieces at a certain point where I can maintain the colors or get the colors. People use newspaper, newspaper or like pine heats up really fast and cools really fast. So when you use those, you just take what you can get. You don't, because it's happening too quick to actually manipulate the pieces. The way I do it is I'm looking for that band of color in between green, which is oxidation, and copper, which is reduction. I'm looking for that middle ground that has all the exciting colors. So that's why I use hardwood sawdust. And I've tried everything,
But
When
if you
when I
used a different wood that had the same thermal properties, it wouldn't affect the color.
Well, if it worked like hardwood sawdust, the answer is yeah, it'd be the same because the physics and the chemistry is the same.
Okay.
That's
oh,
the same.
see, he is Einstein.
Yeah, but tomorrow I get a haircut because I'm doing one of my low level shows, which is South Haven, Michigan. Never did it before, and I want to look somewhat businesslike. So I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. I might even buy some clothes.
Wear a T-shirt that says "I love Chicago."
That's right. That's right. And the week after is Crassel, so which is like
Yeah, and
10
you
miles
could
away.
wear that for Crazzle also.
I won't even have to take it off. I'll just wear it
Right.
Hey,
for the whole
Barry,
week.
I'm doing Crazzle for my first
You are?
time. I'll try to meet you in person. I'm doing Crazzle for my first time.
It's Laura there,
Okay.
whose face isn't moving when she talks.
Yeah,
Too much Botox.
I'm not, no Botox. Thank you very much.
That's great. Well, don't go, never mind. Crazzle could be good and it can be bad at the same time. So, I'm just warning you.
Yeah. I mean, seems like most of those, unless it's just the ones that have the most amazing and difficult to get into reputations. It can be good or it
The
can be bad.
reputation is, listen, the reputation is much higher than the actual results for that show. It attracts really good artists, but I don't think the sales are like A plus. But, after doing Milwaukee Lakefront, I'm reassessing everything. So,
Was that bad in Milwaukee?
it was bad for me. I don't know
Oh.
about anybody else. So I know that some people did really well, but they had pre-existing customers and stuff. So I don't really know. A few people did really well. I'm not sure about the rest, but
Mm.
I didn't do very well. In fact, I've had 5 really bad shows in a row, which is
Oh gosh.
definitely messing with my ego on top of being
Oh.
rejected from everything.
I found
telling
the
you.
one year I did Crazzle that the end by the museum was not nearly as busy as the other end.
You know, I have not even paid attention to where my booth spot is. I need to go look at that.
And if it takes you a while to tear down, pay attention because they reopen the streets at a certain time in the evening, but they don't give you any warning. Buried in the fine print, it says we reopen the streets at whatever time. But when they actually
Takes me
reopen
about 2 hours to break down.
yeah, you should be okay. But look through your information and make sure that you see that time because they give you no warning when they reopen the streets. All of a sudden,
Well,
you have traffic flying by, and I almost got hit.
If you're closer to and that's one of my pet peeves. Like, they can't keep it closed for another hour. I mean, come on. How about considering us for a change? But anyway, if you're closer to the arts center, there's not as much traffic going through as the other end because the other end has restaurants and stuff like that. So that's why the other side probably, if that's where you were, Court.
No, I was down by the museum.
I am 159. I'm not sure where that is.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because there's two. They divided the map in half because it's one long street. So
yeah, okay.
I'm down by the museum.
It's welcome and information. I'm near that. Merchandise and water sales. I can't hardly tell.
The one year I did it, I was down by the museum. I walked up to leave some stuff in Parker's booth, and he was on the other end. And there was because they had it gated off in the middle where I went from one end to the other. It was so packed on the other end that you couldn't walk.
Yeah, the other end. You're right. Because of restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had horrid sales, but I always have.
So I'm on the north end, but there's like 2 rows. There's an upper row and a lower row and some sort of area between us, parking area. I'm on the lower row area. I don't know. But I'm in there with a lot of people, so hopefully that's okay.
Yeah, well, it's one long row, so.
We'll see.
Yep, I always do terrible in resort areas, and I didn't realize that that was a resort area.
Yeah, and it's Chicago. Well, it's Chicago, and Notre Dame. Where's that? South Bend. People come from there, to the show. Plus the locals
from the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, no, from the St. Joseph side of the bridge. Larry, that's really funny because I was thinking, should I mention something about that? But no, I'm not going to say anything.
Okay, Lori, yeah, I'm going to say something. Lori, there is a very unique dynamic in that area. You have St. Joseph,
That's
you have
polite.
St. Joseph, which is a very much upper scale community. You literally go over a bridge and you are in Benton Harbor, which is very much a
Yeah,
low income community
yeah,
with predominantly African American. The other side of the bridge is upper scale, predominantly white. That dynamic comes into play. That dynamic came into play at that show a few years ago and caused
yeah.
a huge problem.
I
Yeah.
remember that. Was that last year?
No,
No, it was 2 or 3
2
years
or
ago.
3. Yeah.
Okay.
When
What
did you do it?
happened?
When, Court, when did you do it?
I did it the year before that. I did it right after COVID.
Okay.
There's
Okay,
think I
something
was-
about the photos. I don't care if people take photos in my booth, so I doubt we'd have a repeat of anything like that.
There was a young African American photographer who worked for a newspaper who was taking photos. A
Without
photographer there
permission.
asked him not to take photos. The newspaper photographer left, supposedly, or went, talked to somebody, got permission, came back, pushed the issue. Now this is at Teardown.
Yeah.
This is at Teardown, and the African American photographer starts lining up and filling the frame just with images. And I think they went back and forth a couple times. The photographer was there. The newspaper photographer showed up. He was asked to leave. He came back, was asked to leave. Then he comes back during Teardown, and a scene erupts, and the show director sits on a nearby bench, and instead of intervening, just sits there and watches it go down.
Oh, God.
lovely. All right,
And
so,
you're,
And
li-
the police,
you're,
the police
you're
were
leaving
called.
out you're leaving out the most important part, which is the black kid said that the artist used the N word, which he
Oh.
didn't, because, and you can ask Jim Parker. There's actually, you can actually watch that video on YouTube. I believe it's still on there, of the trans interaction, and there's no mention, no artist did that, and so so there was a conflict there, because he denied doing that, and the black kid said, oh yeah, he used the N word, and the show director sided with the kid, and the city sided with the kid. It was really weird, because none of that was true, and you know why they did that, I don't know.
Then the show director afterwards basically throws all the artists under the bus, claiming that this is a problem when you bring in artists from out of town.
Oh, my God.
But all the
Where
artists are
was
from
this again?
Okay, let me explain something to you. The show was really good, because it used to be this Sarah Schomburger ran the show, and it was fantastic. I mean, people, they'd have a meeting at the end of the show, and people would be clapping for Sarah because she was such a good director, and somehow they got rid of her, and I don't think it was done kindly. I mean, I'm friends with Sarah, but I never asked her what the deal was. I almost don't want to know, because for me, it's just shut up and go do the show, which is very hard for me to do. And
Basically, what I'm going to tell you, if you're doing the show, it's fine. Just know that if something bad happens, you're not going to have the backup or anybody in the show. But I will not touch that show. And you guys are just touching just the surface. What happened?
Yeah,
I'll find out more information later on. But if you really want to talk about it, you can talk to Camille and Diane French and the what is the other one that's in Virginia Beach?
Amy?
They try to talk. What?
Sharon Tesser.
Sharon, try to talk to them more about it, and you will find out that it's not me personally. I won't be giving any money to them. But
were they all there? Was Camille walking around?
No,
Yeah.
what happened was NAIA got involved and a
Rightly
group
so.
of NAIA board directors, Camille, some others got on a Zoom call with the director from Krazel,
Castle.
and it turned ugly from what I understand.
Oh yeah, because she was being. I'm assuming she was being really defensive.
I don't
Once
know.
you-
I haven't seen it. Don't know what was said. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you what I know.
Yeah.
This,
I don't know exactly what was said, but it said they got really ugly.
what happened was, this is a case where you have a show director who is also a museum director and head of an nonprofit artist group.
She
The
was the
show
museum director
director-
first. She was the museum director first, and Sarah Schomburg ran the show. And so, for some reason, the museum director, with their big ego or whatever it is, got rid of Sarah.
So
Yeah.
what happened was basically the lady that was directing the show was moved sideways into a different position where she can still, obviously she raises a lot of money and has connections to raise money, otherwise she probably still wouldn't have a job. So she was moved into a different position and someone else was given the responsibility for the show, supposedly.
Yeah, but you still have a lot of saying on it, and it's a pain in the ass. Like I say, if you want to do the show, go ahead. But if something goes wrong, don't expect any help.
It was
The
always
show
an
does not,
outrageous
the show
show.
is not supportive of artists.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
It's out of town people that come to it. That there's
And
30
people
years
that
ago.
buy-
Artist and the public.
Listen, 25
Yeah.
and 30 years ago, it was one of the top shows. It had great artists. Everybody wanted to do it, and the reputation has lasted longer than the sales.
The reason it pulls some of the artists that it does is because it is the weekend before Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor.
So you have people traveling that will go and do that show and then Ann Arbor the next weekend. If Ann
Well-
Arbor wasn't the next weekend, there are probably a lot of artists there from outside the area that would
Yeah.
not do that show.
Let me explain the logistics of that. The show is Saturday and Sunday, and then set up on Ann Arbor for Ann Arbor's Wednesday. So there's only 2 days before in between. So that's why I do it, because I can drive to Ann Arbor after Krazel, and it's like it's right away. I put the two together. As long as I don't lose money at Krazel, I'm okay. I'll have 5 selling days as opposed to 2. Yeah, I wouldn't do Krazel if it wasn't connected like that.
And the other thing is, if you probably already found out, lodging in the area, because it is a resort area, is outrageously priced.
Well, I'm in the host program. I'm staying in somebody's home, so that's really nice.
Yeah, I paid $200 a night for what should have been any other time of the year someplace else would have been a $79-$99 cheap hotel somewhere.
Hmm.
Well, because I don't have to pay for a place to stay, we're gonna go around the lake. One of my kids, one of my daughters is coming with me. We're gonna go spend the day in Chicago after. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, I got a dumpy room in Benton Harbor.
I guess they don't take the men in the host rooms, in the host homes as easily as a woman.
Well, they do. I just never bothered with it.
Yeah.
I did it once.
I will tell you, one of the most surreal experiences I have ever had is going into the Meyer grocery store in Benton Harbor. It was just bizarre.
Yeah. Hey, and that's why for the city of St. Joe and the director to be defending the the black kid was how hypocritical. I mean, you have one area that's wealthy, and then you have a bridge which basically acts as a barrier, and then you have Benton Harbor, which has a I don't know if it still does, but the government took over the city because they found the people that running it were so inept. I mean, it's amazing how hypocritical that is. Oh, all of a sudden we're supporting Benton Harbor where they never did support. You know, they did everything they can to make it to make it separate from St. Joe. I mean, you couldn't make this up. I mean, it's outrageous.
I did
People
meet,
are sometimes.
And you're still doing the show.
Yeah, but I told you why.
I did
No.
meet a doctor there and was talking to him because he noticed I was from Kansas and he had lived in Kansas City and he used to be the head of thoracic surgery at one of the big hospitals in Kansas City, and he was running a clinic in Benton Harbor, and basically said he did it because they needed the medical. They didn't have doctors there, and he felt, you know, he had done his thing at the big hospital, and now I kind of felt it was time to get back to a community, and that was where he landed.
Okay, so to change the subject, do any of you do the Covington, Louisiana show in November?
No.
It has an up and down reputation, but it's only 5.5 hours away and it's not super expensive. So I thought I would give it a try.
No, I'm going to do I'm doing both ends. I'm doing St. Louis one weekend, then my little local show the next.
In November?
September.
Yeah, I'm talking about November.
I think September is the
I
first.
quite honest with you, I wouldn't be doing anything in November until the day after, a week after the election.
Yeah, that could be really interesting.
It'd be nice to get it all over with. All
I
right.
just telling
Well,
you.
guys, I've got to go do yoga. It was good talking to you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Ah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got to go do my expensive local show. It's always about $150 to $100 more expensive than it should be.
Of course.
And they just raised the price. It's $500 for this little, you know.
Seriously?
Yeah. 80 artist regional show that last time I did it pulled a bunch of lower end, you know, artists.
Yeah, and why should it be any different?
So
Ooh. Those aren't bad.
yeah, booth fee is $500. Booth fee for the plaza is like $650.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, now that might be worth it, but I don't know because they never let me in anymore.
I honestly, I kind of, I don't understand. I just don't get it. But that's just me. Hey, by the way, talking about my next show, Ann Arbor. I was looking at the artists in the regional. I think that the guild has a better selection of artists.
I know.
At least
Well,
in
of
the
course. Of course.
You know, it's kind of funny because you always are looking at, if you could just go in by the web, what they put in the website, I'm pretty sure the presentation in the regional will be better than ours in the guild by far. But,
Oscar, that was my goal. I tried. Somebody recruited me to come over to, to move all the way over to Main Street, and once that happened, I went, oh, this is where all the traffic is. This is great, and so that's what that's what I'm do. I mean, that's how I got you over there because I politic for you to come over on our street, so it's a combination of people that are there until they die that are really bad, and then but slowly it's getting better and better, and they won't redo the jury, So, so that's the way it is, and so if we can bring one or two people a year over, suddenly it becomes a really good show. So that's really good to hear, Oscar, that it's better where we are, because I know the whole history of Ann Arbor. When the original show was phenomenal, it was over on South University. There was two streets, Southview and Eastview. When I was 15 years old, 16 years old, we used to go there from Detroit. We used to drive there, and it was really cool. It's all museum quality artists before it blossomed into this big monstrosity. But so I've watched it. I've watched it from the beginning. So yeah, it's really great to bring all those people over to us, and money talks. So if you tell them you're going to do twice as much business over where we are, you get them. Sometimes you get people coming over. So that's that.
Yeah, but it's just interesting. But
Yeah,
no,
it's funny.
but that I'm pretty sure that once you see it in person, probably the original still looks really good. It's just that the people that you see in there is nobody really I don't know, maybe it's all spread out through the show, but I don't know. Doesn't look impressive to me.
Here's something I have to show you guys. This is West Elm website. See how nice those things look in there? If I could just take their tables out and put mine in.
But
Can you
see how
see
they're
it?
on room settings?
Yes. That's exactly
And
what I was looking.
And the tables are styled with stuff on them.
Yep. Like something like that. If I could just put my table in there. Oh, why don't I know all this would be Photoshop, right? To be able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Get
that's
some
all I had to
pictures
say.
of Barry's urns there and put on it.
Pardon?
Get some pictures of Barry's urns and put them on it.
Coming up.
Oh,
It's coming up.
I could do that. Yeah, so wouldn't that be ideal if I could just take that out? I would have to ask that company, right? If I could use that picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can also do this if you want to. I've done it. I also do this. You can go to Adobe Stock.
Oh, yeah. And those are free.
Some of them are free, other ones are not. So
And they're blank, so I could put something in it. I mean, like it's furniture.
You can. Yeah.
Put a body.
You have to Photoshop.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, but
Okay.
see, look at Barry's pottery there. They're
These
all
are the two.
unique.
Oh,
These are the two pieces that I pulled that I was trying to show you.
those are so
They're-
cool.
They're cool enough now to,
Now, Barry, make sure you're breaking all of them and the way to the band.
Hey, it isn't going to matter. They're not going to sell anyway. So what's the difference?
Oh, Barry, where do you live?
In the in the hinterland of Michigan.
Oh, okay. I'm in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, northern Michigan.
Oh, it's too bad you're not closer. I would have plenty of sawdust for you.
It has to be hardwood.
Yeah, that's all I use.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah,
Wait,
I use walnut, cherry.
You're in
what do I-
Madison?
Yeah.
Hey, guess where I get my materials?
What materials? What part of what you do?
Clay, all of it. Clay,
Oh, the
glazes.
clay?
glazes.
Well, the clay you get from my whole backyard is clay.
No. That's not.
No,
That's not what you did.
where do you get it?
Come on, Come on, you should know this.
How would
Well,
I
you might know this.
that?
Cause there's a reason why I'm asking you. Just guess. Okay, never mind. Paoli, Wisconsin.
Oh, Paoli, that's so nice there.
Yeah, so there, Verona. Yeah, so you would probably know that.
You know Phil Lyons?
No.
Okay. He used to be an art teacher at my high school, and then now he's been a professional pottist.
Honest.
He does these.
You know what that is?
Ceramics and pot.
That's an East Coast. That's an East Coast artist who makes pots. Pottist.
See, I'm not even.
Not an artist, not an artist, but a pottist.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So you have to come down here to pick it up, or they ship it to you?
No, I always go through there.
Oh, that's such a nice area.
Although I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to force myself to do something totally different. So I'm not going there to get raku clay. I'm going to use what I have and make stuff that's totally different, so that and which will be a lot easier, and I can charge more. So, and plus I can show all those people that they go, look at his stuff. Raku.
Are you gonna put a glaze on those pots, or they look just like that?
Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh, these?
Yeah.
They're glazed. They're glazed.
Oh, I couldn't
Doesn't
tell.
look like that. The clay's white.
Oh, okay.
This is a glaze. This is my glaze. This is the people actually knew. They'd realize nobody gets colors like this. I figured this out. The chemistry.
Wow, that's cool. That's
nobody
very cool.
Yeah, and in reality, if the people were knowledgeable, I'd sell everything in the first hour and go home. But nobody knows shit, so I don't sell anything anymore.
You got to figure out a new trick.
The trick is to hypnotize them when they walk in the booth. I'm very friendly. I am very kind. Let me tell you something. I do whatever I can to make the sales. It doesn't work.
Oh.
Maybe
you know what Barry does? As soon as the person goes inside the booth, he takes the baseball bat and hit them in the back and tell them they cannot leave until they buy something. That's what he does. And then he wonder why everybody hates him.
He's mixing himself. He's mixing up himself with me. And the other thing is he hits himself in the back of the head, so he's dazed and he has no idea what he's talking about.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God.
You guys.
Hey, they updated the website more.
Can you believe this? We're actually sharing a room at Crassel. So, not Crassel, Ann Arbor.
I know sacrifices have to be made.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my.
Oh, it's great. So I see we're getting warmed up for the weekend already. 2 weeks away.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to work on the website and get more frustrated. So.
Wait a minute. Was that who lives in? I can't really see. Is that Barbie who lives in Madison?
Well, I don't know why it says Barbie. I think my name is Barb, but yes, I'm in Madison.
Oh, okay, Barbie.
Yeah.
But when you're doing the website, just don't get frustrated. It can take a week or 2 weeks to just get it up. You just get it up, let it sit in there for 6 months, and then go back out again. And
oh my God,
tweak it out.
6 months? I can't wait 6 months to do this.
Sure you can.
No, just get it up, make it work, and then in 6 months again, look at again to see what you need to tweak. And now you're going to go crazy.
Okay.
Well, you're not gonna leave it the way it is. I mean, you have current events and news, and you're changing pieces and everything. So it isn't like it's going to be static, right?
No, but I'll probably just change pieces and stuff. I'm not gonna do a newsletter and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, you
Mostly-
could get,
As soon
Mostly I
as
do
you,
custom pieces.
yeah,
you know, when you have the audience like Oscar, you know, and you start writing stuff like he does, he doesn't stop. It's like he that's all he does now. He writes blog posts, you know, incessantly, you know, writing stuff. So that could happen to you, you
I don't think so.
know. You say that now.
No, I get too many things I like to do. I like to do the woodworking and I like to play golf and I like to,
Really?
yeah. I just, well, when I have it up, I'll get on the call next week and let you know how it's going, but it's called Arterial Wood Designs.
And also, just to let you know, every year you have to take that you need to make sure that everything is fresh and working properly. You cannot let it just sit in there. Like if I was you,
Yeah, I'll check
I
it.
will hire Frank once a year to go through everything to make sure you don't have nothing weird going on, things that you
Yeah.
cannot see.
I'll definitely do that. One thing
Because
that
I
was
do hire
interesting,
somebody. I hire
one thing
somebody
that,
once a year to go over the
Okay.
website, the things that I
Okay.
don't see.
one thing that was kind of interesting to me when I was watching this artist who's a painter, or I think he was a painter, go over how to do Squarespace. He said that you're supposed to use your name as your website. And then I already had this one called Arterial Wood Designs. It's a long story, but I used to be in medical sales and I sold artery type products for blood flow and stuff. And the product that I sold got Medicare stopped paying for it, and it prevents amputations. It's a pump. And so I was taking the profits I was making from the tables and getting patients that needed pumps, pumps that couldn't afford it. That's how I came up with Arterial Wood Designs. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do that much anymore because I'm sort of retired from that job. But do most people use their own name for their website? If they're an artist, he said if you're an artist, you definitely have to use your own name. And I'm like, oh God, I'm not doing that.
yeah, you want to use whatever you're known by. If you do shows and all your signage in your booth says Arterial, then stay with Arterial. If everything in your booth has your name on it, Barb,
Mm.
you know, Barb Splinters, then that's what you want to use.
It would be the
Like,
time to make a change, though, if there was a time to do it. It would be now because I
Yes.
didn't get enough traction with it before, really.
And
So-
what you can do is you can go in and take your studio name Arterial,
Yeah.
and you can, when somebody clicks on it, you can point it to your other website. So when somebody clicks on that domain name or types it in, it will go to your current website that's under a different domain name.
Mm.
But I come to tell you one thing that I wish I'd done it. I started with Linares Fine Art. Actually, the original name was lpstudios.com. .net, and then I went to Linares Fine Art because that's the way I signed. I signed Linares everything, and that's what I stuck for the last 12 years. So
it's
always
you
good to
have your
something-
name.
Yeah.
Your website is your name.
My last name.
Everybody should own their domain name, their name as a domain.
Yeah.
If possible.
But I do have the right to OscarMatosLinares.com. That's also mine. So and what I do when people put my name, it goes to my Linares Fine Art website. So, but it's a
Okay.
lot of work. I don't envy you. I do it every December. As I didn't do it last December. I did it in May when I came back, and it's always a week or so to get it tuned up. If I need to redesign it, it takes 2 weeks. and then in December again, I take a look again during between the holidays and see if I need to fix anything after between
Okay.
the 26th and the 31st. But
What does a
that's
domain
just
name,
me.
what does a domain name cost a year again? Like roughly?
Fe-
Depends
Next
on
to
who's
nothing.
registered.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
No,
if I
it's-
got my name as my domain name, I could decide while I'm doing the website if I wanted to change it,
Yes.
Yeah.
because I've got the other one already.
Who's driving? Oh,
So the domain usually costs $10 to $15 a year.
Yeah, okay, maybe I should just get that too, and then decide as I'm working it what seems best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
But
do
even
have sign,
if,
but
yeah, even if you don't use it by your name,
What,
even if
what,
you don't use it by your name and keep it.
okay,
what some people do is buy different, like a number of them, a few of them, because you know, and you can like for me it'd be Barry Bernstein Pottery, Barry Bernstein Ceramics, Barry Bernstein Raku, Bernstein Raku. You could buy a number of them, and if somebody like types that in, it'll go to your real, it'll direct them
Oh.
to your real site. So
I see.
Yeah.
The only
But you
reason
might-
I don't know about search optimization that much, but that
That's
was one
what,
reason why I thought keeping arterial wood designs would be good, because if they're looking at wood, maybe it would pop up eventually.
well, you would use your name and you'd say Wood Designs instead of Arterial, which is nebulous. You know, you use your own name, Wood Designs. Barb.
Does it make a big difference, or can I do some kind of search optimization where people search wood, but my name does come up?
That takes forever.
That's the idea.
But it takes forever to get it up there. You really need
Okay.
Frank to do that for you.
Yeah, Frank will help you with that one.
So
Yeah,
having
you
wood in
really
it
need
is a
Frank. I don't
better,
even do that myself. I hire somebody
Having-
for that.
having wood in it is a better idea, just off the bat in
Yeah,
the title.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All
Okay,
right,
guys,
well,
until-
Larry,
go, I got-
Larry, are you gonna have the call next Tuesday?
what?
Yeah.
You gonna have the call next Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay, I'll come on and let you guys know how I'm doing. And I was gonna ask, is Bonnie around?
She drops in and out.
Oh, okay. Okay, just wondered, I hadn't seen her for a while either, but thank
Yeah.
you for having the call.
Yeah, I think she was here last
might-
week or the week.
Pardon?
I don't remember.
She hosts a Zoom with me every other Wednesday for
Emerging
emerging
artists.
artists.
She's doing okay, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, well, I'll see you guys next week.
Okay,
Okay,
All
have a
right.
good night.
bye.
Okay.
I'm gonna take
Okay,
off
bye.
too.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're all gonna take
Yeah.
off, and poor Elvis needs to eat dinner.
Oh, that's important.
All right, bye.
All right. See you
Bye.
guys.